How often have you heard about the word adoption? How common or how normal it is for you? How often have you heard about two friends co parenting a child? Something weird, right? Or maybe something new to you, maybe something new to many of us. So, in today's video or in today's interview, you're going to witness two friends co parenting one child. So, let's see how their journey is. Welcome, Ajinkya. Welcome, Robin, to my channel Mom Story by Sana. It's such a pleasure to see both of you together over here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's our pleasure to be here.
First thing I want to know about you, like, what do you do, Robin? What do you do, Ajinkya? So I hardly know you. I don't know anything about you, right? Apart from you are there in the Joy of Adoption group and you are a single parent. Apart from that, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं पता है. So would you like to say something, both of you, one by one? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, first, like my name is Robin. I'm basically from Punjab, come from a very traditional Punjabi family.
Okay.
My parents, both her mother and father, are retired government officers. I have a brother, sister, both married, having kids. So as you know, I'm a single father now. I decided to make my family by adoption. So now enjoying the parenthood.
Wow, that's wonderful. What about you, Ajinkya?
So I am from Pune, and now I've been in Bangalore for about six and a half years.
Okay.
I'm again working in a private sector, and in my family right now it's just my father. My mother is no more, but my brother is there. He's married with two kids. Actually, I had also applied for adoption as a single parent, but that same year when I had applied, my mother passed away. So then my whole support system sort of fell apart. So then I withdrew my application. So then I thought, okay, Robin had the same plans. So I said, why not, help out Robin and, co-parent along with Robin, because that way even I can become a parent and, he is also already a parent of.
Such a wonderful thought, like this is something that happens kind of very rarely. So how did you guys meet? Like, how long have you been friends with each other?
We have been actually family friends.
Okay.
But we haven't been in constant touch with each other for a very long period of time. But our families are sort of friends and they know each other. But then Robin, I think because of your job, you had gone somewhere abroad and then I was studying somewhere abroad. So we lost contact. Then when he came back from abroad, he came to Pune, and around same time, I had also come back, I had finished my studies at same time. So then we were both in the same city, and then we contacted each other again. And then ever since we haven't really, been in two different cities. So we've known each other since we were kids. But again,
In a
like I
close
said,
touch,
in close touch, we've been in touch for the last 10 years.
Wow, that's so nice. It doesn't happen, no? Like someone you have lost touch with, and again you come back with to them. It's such a beautiful thing that happens in our lives.
It was a big coincidence for us.
Yeah,
right?
it's actually a coincidence. No, I think it's meant to happen. Most of the things are meant to happen. Otherwise, things don't work out that way, no? Like that there is someone sitting up there who says like ये होना चाहिए तो ऐसे ऐसे ये प्रोग्राम करके रख रहा हूँ मैं.
Correct.
So
I never thought like we are, to be honest, we are very very different from each other.
Yeah, actually, like Punjabi family, it's like two different cultures actually, like being close friends and then now deciding to co-parent also. So that's something really wonderful, and I'm so happy, so glad that such unconventional and so like things are happening now, and that stereotypical family idea is actually kind of declining now, right? So coming to my question again, like I'm going to bother you a lot, so please bear with me for couple of more minutes. Okay. So where did this idea pop in, like to co-parent? Like whose idea was that? Like Ajinkya, as you said, like unfortunately you like your mom is no more, and then you both decided to co-parent. Like how did this idea pop up? Like where did this all come from? Like whose idea was this?
So thing is, as I mentioned earlier, right, we are very, very different from each other. But still, I believe our core value system is very similar, very similar, right? We both come from a very conventional, traditional families, in a way, right? He's maybe a little more modern than mine, I would say, but still, still we come from a very traditional value systems and come from a similar kind of background where the parents have struggled a lot, built their life, and then they had kids, and they we still had kind of a comfortable life per se, both of us, because our parents had struggled enough. So we understand the nuances. We understand, what it takes to be in the society, what are the value system we should be following, and all those things. We have a very different living style, but that is just very secondary, right? But when it comes to a child, you always want someone, that the kid will have almost a similar value system.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So the kid shouldn't be lost suddenly. Okay, what should I follow? Of course, your living style kid can pick up whatever he wants to. There's no restriction per se. But I'm sure we don't want my kid to do any harm to anyone else, right? So that's a very basic thing which we both are very clear. We don't have to even talk about it, right? So many basic things are very clear between us and very similar. So we both wanted to adopt a baby. We both wanted to make our families, grow our families with the babies. Somehow for both of us, marriage was not on the cards. He first applied for the adoption. I didn't know what the procedure is, to be honest, via cara and all. I wanted to adopt for very long, but somehow maybe I was very, very busy in my own life. I never got a chance to Google or find out what is the procedure for it. But he was a step ahead. He found out the ways, he applied. But then, as he mentioned, unfortunately, he lost his mother, then he lost his grandmother in the same year. Then after that, it was very organic. I knew that he's adopting. I was already on board with the idea that, okay, this is how the things can go further. Then when he was withdrawing his application, then I thought, why not I apply for an application, because I also want to do the similar thing. And maybe as of now, as his support system was not stable at that time, then I will help him. He will help me raising the baby, and maybe when he adopt, I will help him in case, or maybe we'll just co-parent a single baby. So that's also maybe a good idea. So I think
Yeah,
that's
indeed, it's a good idea. Like this is something like which we were very impressed with. When I told my partner, like we founded Pragna, and my partner, I told, see, this is what it is. Like I just happened to come across a two people who are actually co-parenting a child, and he's like, oh really, that's so wonderful. She was so willing to like actually meet, but then her network is terribly crappy over there, the where she has gone. In fact, she had promised that she's going to actually join this call, but I don't think she will be able to anyway. So see, we don't see many men going ahead and adopting as a single parent, right? So what was the inspiration behind doing this? Because I'm going to ask Ajinkya, because as you say, like Ajinkya was the person who registered first, right? He did all the kind of the research work and all. So Ajinkya, where did you get this inspiration from? Like, I should, like adopt a child without having a, like a female partner with me. Like that's something, like the conventional, the way we have, been brought up. Like as both of you say, like your traditional family background you have, any conservative traditional family will have a typical mindset of you have to get married, you have to raise a kid. Now again, this comes ahead, like whether we want to have a biological or adopt another a child. So where is this your inspiration actually coming from? Like how did you decide that you want to go ahead and be a single father?
Okay, so now that you asked me this question, I'm just, while you were asking me, I was thinking what was my inspiration really. But to that, I would say, even though if I came from a very traditional, conventional family background, and both of us come from a very middle class family background, where our parents worked hard, gave us a good upbringing, all of that. I did my higher education abroad. So I went out of India at the age of 18, which I think are formative years for building your personality, building your
Correct.
perspective towards life. Till 18, you're under sort of this umbrella that your parents sort of protect you and provide you.
Right,
And
right.
once you are out of your parents' house and you suddenly step outside, then you get a different, whole new perspective. So I think a lot of my formative years were spent in Europe. And I think I was lucky also to have met people who were single parents over there. I have met couples who were not married, but they had kids together and they were still co-parenting. And I used
Right.
to ask them, why aren't you getting married? Why is marriage not on your cards? And they said,
Mhm.
that's not life, I mean, marriage is a very small part of life. And okay, some people want to have that in their life, and some people don't want to have it in their life.
Mhm.
And it was, they sort of normalized the idea for me that it's okay if you're not getting married and still having a family,
Correct.
which in India I think is still not normalized to a large extent.
True,
It is
true.
still,
Very true.
it's
Very
in the
true.
process. It is still happening, but then we have a long way to go. But in Europe,
Absolutely.
when I had these friends and I met these people, it was so normal for them, and over a period of time it became normal for me also, that it's okay if you're not married, it's okay if you have a partner and you're not married and you're co-parenting a child. Now it can be a man and a woman, it can be a woman and a woman, it can be a man and a man, it can
Correct.
be two friends, it can be two brothers, it can be two sisters, it doesn't matter. Who is to decide what your family structure should be like? It is
Absolutely.
you, right? No, not the society, not the parents, not the friends. It is you who will decide how normal you want your family structure to be, and you define that. So I think that sort of opened up my perspective
Hmm.
in my formative years. And then from there on, when I came back from Europe and I came back to India, it was very organic. I'll be very honest. There was no inspiration. I didn't think, okay, I want to
Mhm.
be an inspiration to someone, or I am getting inspiration from someone. It so happened that I didn't find a partner to sort of build my life with. Marriage wasn't on the cards from the very beginning. I didn't want to get married.
Mhm.
I sort of didn't think that it's the whole and soul of life. I thought, okay,
Mhm.
if it happens, it will happen organically. Otherwise, I'm not going to chase, which happens
Right,
normally
right.
in Indian
Mhm.
societies, where after a certain age, parents want you to be on some matrimonial websites and then
Correct.
start hunting. So I had very clearly told my parents, if it has to happen, let it happen organically. Let's not put any efforts, but that shouldn't stop me from becoming a parent.
If you have stayed till here, then you are one of those luckiest people who are hearing unique stories. There is more to come in the part 2. So please stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe my channel so that you get to hear more and more stories about people around you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll take a leave.